2-0 is the Indiana State lead after half an inning. Bottom of the first starts out with Carter Matheson in the left-handed batter's box for Indiana, and the first pitch from Gilly misses outside for ball one. Carter Matheson on the year hitting .275, 6 home runs, 8 doubles, and 18 runs batted in. He pops one up foul out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Now this is the in-state matchup between Indiana and Indiana State that is dated back to 1895 as Matheson takes outside. And 1895 is a considerable amount of time ago. And just to think back, you know, president was Grover Cleveland at the time, and the sport of basketball was only 4 years old. As Matheson takes a called strike on the inside corner. That's hard to believe.
That's hard to believe. 130 years ago. How old was the U.S. at that point?
That's quick math for me, and quick math for Gilly out there as he gets Carter Matheson to swing and miss at a high fastball for the first out of the bottom of the first inning. But, you know, the World Series was not even created yet. That was the state of baseball back in 1895, and that just speaks to this series and college baseball as a whole. Tyler Cerny steps in, the sophomore shortstop for Indiana. He's taken a big step up this year. Fouls one back into the screen for strike one. .333 on the year, 5 home runs, 32 runs batted in for Cerny as he takes a fastball that misses low. Count evens up, a ball and a strike. It was looking like we weren't going to have baseball today with the thunderstorms and nasty weather, but it's turned out to be a pretty decent evening as Cerny skies one right field. That's going to be routine for Parker Stinson. He backs up as that was carrying and makes the catch on the warning track. That wind playing a factor right there.
Yeah, you said in the open that wind is blowing out to right field pretty strongly, and Stinson was just getting backtracked. He was settling under it, and then he took a good amount of steps, about 6 to 8 steps back until they pushed him back to the warning track. But luckily for the Sycamores, that one stayed into the ballpark, but that really carried a lot by the wind.
Players are battling the elements out there. We're battling the elements here as our papers are flying all around, but nonetheless, we're here enjoying a good day of baseball. Devin Taylor steps in and takes the first pitch called strike on the inside corner. Talented sophomore in this Indiana program, was Big Ten Freshman of the Year last year as he takes an inside pitch too far off the plate for ball one, count even. Ball and a strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning where the Sycamores lead 2-0. And Devin Taylor turns on one, but it's well foul. A lot of lefties in this lineup, a lot of opposite field hitters, and they're playing the elements here today at Bart Kaufman Field.
You beat me to it. I was going to say if I was playing today and I was left-hander, I don't know if Coach would like me to say this, but I would be maybe pulling my head up a little bit much, trying to pull something out to right field. Only .330 toward the pole.
Taylor took a pitch in the dirt to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on, and Gilly out of the windup. Here's the 2-2. It's a breaking ball that misses high, and the count is full.
2 quick outs for Indiana here in this inning, and Taylor working the 3-2 count, but really if you're Indiana, you got to extend these bats as much as you can.
Payoff pitch from Gilly. Taylor fends it off to the left side, and he stays alive. Devin Taylor is one of the best full count hitters in all of college baseball. His plate discipline, especially as of late, is really a marvel.
Yeah, he's really good at picking the pitches that he wants to swing at, commanding the zone.
Not that time as Gilly pumps 93 right past him. Second strikeout of the inning for Gilly, and he goes 1-2-3. It's still 2-0 Sycamores after 1 here on WIUX Sports. Chelsea Thorpe will check in for the Buckeyes, and Emily Londot will go to the service line. 8-6, Indiana leads here in set 4. Alonzo Corsellis digs it out back to Hayworth to Colheed on the spike, sneaks it inside the 10-meter line, and Savannah Colheed has herself a kill.
Colheed, these last few points, making herself known in the front for IU. And now with Thorpe coming on for the Buckeyes, they're going to go for a more aggressive style of play.
Tatum, line drive serve, dug out by the Buckeyes. Thorpe is blocked. Alonzo Corsellis to Hayworth to Tatum, and Tatum's spike goes into the net, just barely on the white tape and little top part of the netting. Nearly made it over, but not quite.
Well, in that situation, you want Alonzo Corsellis or Cole Heed there to do it. Tatum, not the greatest player in the air, more of a in the trenches sort of type player.
Hoffman's serve, dug out by Lopez on the dive. Alonzo Corsellis blocked at the net, back to Indiana. Gary, high set to Alonzo Corsellis, blocked. Lopez to Hayworth. Her spike gets contained on the Ohio State side. Thorpe denied, sends it back into the Ohio State zone. Thorpe tries again, blocked again, but out of bounds. Ohio State resilient there, and the Buckeyes are fighting back. It's 9-8 Hoosiers.
Well, Thorpe has changed her tactics. Normally when she's on that left side, she likes to go to the right, but this time she's going straight down the middle, down that right sideline. IU looked like they were doing a good job of containing it, but Thorpe just had too much power on it there, and Ohio State is suddenly within just one.
Hoffman the serve. Isa Lopez digs it out easily. Hayworth cross court to Alonzo Corsellis, and the dig. What a save by Londot on the dive. Hayworth a joust at the net off of Buckeye. Thorpe the attack. Gosnell able to dig it out with a lunge. Colheed taps it over. Free ball to the Buckeyes. And Rader dug out by Gary. Hayworth back to Alonzo Corsellis. Blocked. Londot in that back zone, able to contain it. Rader saved by Gosnell. Saved by Lopez. Alonzo Corsellis blocked at the net. Colheed back over. Ohio State gets it back under control. Londot dug out by Gary. Hayworth. Alonzo Corsellis dug out again by Londot. Thorpe on the near post. Isa Lopez contains it. Another joust onto Ohio State's side. Colheed pushes it over and into the net. Indiana survives the rally.
How bad do you want it? That is the name of the game in this conference, and the Hoosiers just wanted it a little bit more than the Buckeyes right there.
And the biggest thing about that for Indiana, not only does that extend their lead back to 2, but this Wilkinson Hall crowd is popping right now.
Without a doubt, you knew if the Buckeyes won it, it was going to go dead silent, and the roof was going to blow open if the Hoosiers got it, and that's exactly what just happened.
I mean, that's Big Ten volleyball at its finest.
No doubt.
10-8 the Indiana lead. Alonzo Corsellis at the service line. Dug out by Ohio State. Set running into the chairs from Tuman. Diving dig by Lopez. Lunging save by Hayworth to keep it in play. Now Rader kept in play by Gary at the net. Colheed punches it over. Now back to Ohio State. Londot able to sneak it inside that left sideline.
Well, Londot, after being a no-show for last set, has come back with a fury. It's another kill for her. And Ohio State just sticking around in this second set, in this fourth set rather.
10-9 is the Hoosier lead as Lauren Murphy serves for the Buckeyes. Isa Lopez digs it out. Hayworth running, sets it to Alonzo Corsellis. Easily played by Ohio State. Rader blocked, and it hits the net off the arm of Morgan Geddes.
Riley Rader, we haven't said her name too much since the first set, but her and Londot are the two players coming in that we said were going to play the biggest part in Ohio State's success. And in this fourth set, they definitely are.
Murphy the serve, and great awareness by Alonzo Corsellis. Her momentum was taking her towards that ball to hit it, and she just slid on the ground to let that ball hit the red paint outside of the sideline.
Well, Alonzo Corsellis hasn't played too big of a part in this set, but it's little moments like that that makes her so valuable to the team.
Colheed serves. Londot on the dig, back right over the net, and Kaylee Ramelsberg sends that one home.
Well, if you make a mistake like that and you give Kaylee Ramelsberg a free spike like that, a free chance at a kill, she is going to take it 10 times out of 10.
12-10 the Hoosier lead here in set 4. 49-34 out of the timeout. Indiana leads. 6:49 left in this third quarter. Madison Layden handles the ball at the top of the key. Pulls up from a mid-range, and it bangs off the backboard. Rebound by Yarden Garzone. Chloe Moore McNeil at the top of the key. Slows things down for Indiana, and now with Scalia. Holmes straight away. Feeds to Bargesser on the left wing. Moore McNeil as Indiana works around the perimeter again. Hands off to Scalia. Scalia has been red hot today from three-point range. She steps back. Another three and delivers. Sarah Scalia's fourth three-pointer of the game, and Indiana leads by 18 with 6 minutes and 10 seconds left in the third quarter.
Do you expect anything less? Indiana 3 of their last 3, 8-0 run.
And a foul on the other end. Scalia and Layden got caught up in the paint, and the foul goes on Scalia.
Scalia will come out, and you see Beaumont come back into the game. Man, I'll tell you what, Purdue is still not really letting up on the paint defense, Ian. The only time Holmes has been able to score is in transition or when she's gotten a couple tough rebounds.
Inbound goes to Sophie Swanson for Purdue, and her mid-range jumper falls off the front of the rim. Indiana in transition. Moore McNeil stops, pops, and hits a three. The three ball is fallen for the Hoosiers. Indiana leads by 21, the biggest lead of the game, with 5:45 left in the third quarter. Madison Layden at the top of the key, hounded by Moore McNeil, and a whistle on the floor. You could barely hear it, Riley, as this crowd is getting riled up. Goes on Garzone.
To be honest, I didn't really hear it to begin with, Ian. It was such a loud crowd, this raucous group inside Assembly Hall. Indiana an 11-0 run over the last 2-13. They are firing on all cylinders on offense. This is the Indiana of old that this crowd is used to seeing.
Inbound goes to Layden, one of three sister tandems on this Purdue team. Now Harper gets fouled on the layup as Beaumont came across the arm. And Caitlin Harper, another one of those sister tandems. The Harpers, the Laydens, and the Reynolds sisters, part of this Purdue team.
Yeah, I called that one on Lamandola. It's going to be 2 free throws for... Couldn't quite tell who that is. You called it out.
It's going to be Caitlin Harper.
Okay, Caitlin Harper, but Lamandola, 2 fouls already.
Harper connects on the first. Averages 11 a game, 4 rebounds, and 89% free throw shooter. And Harper cuts the lead to 19. Indiana leads 55-36 with 5.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Purdue in the press. Vargas are able to sling it to Moore McNeil, and Indiana crosses the timeline. Moore McNeil slows the pace down for Indiana. Cuts inside, ball fake to Bargesser in the right corner. Bargesser out to Moore McNeil, another three. Chloe Moore McNeil buries it, and Indiana has converted on 5 of their last 5 field goal attempts. The Hoosiers lead by 22. 5 minutes left in the quarter.
And they say it rains, it pours, and there's a maelstrom going on here inside Assembly Hall right now, Ian.
Sophie Swanson cuts inside, outside to Ellis now, driving left hand, scoop layup off the front of the rim. Bargesser nearly lost the rebound out of bounds, and she picks it up and crosses the timeline just barely in time. Indiana leads by 22. They've hit 5 of their last 5 field goal attempts and held Purdue to no baskets in the last 3.5 minutes. Lamandola at the top of the key. Hands off to Bargesser. Bargesser to Holmes. Now moving to the right wing for Moore McNeil. Moore McNeil for number 3. How about it? Chloe Moore McNeil. 3 3-pointers in the quarter, and Indiana leads by 25. Assembly Hall on its feet.
Listen to this crowd.
And another foul as Layden drove in on Chloe Moore McNeil at the top of the key, and Moore McNeil couldn't hold the contact. Timeout on the floor. This will be the media timeout as Indiana leads 61-36 with 4 minutes and 11 seconds left in the third quarter.